All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. Woo. All right, first and foremost, let's make a note of what your homework is today. Inside your LEQ stimulus prompts, this packet, Unit 4, you are writing this essay for tomorrow. Unit 4, in the period of 1450 to 1750, oceanic voyages resulted in the Columbian Exchange, which transformed eastern and western hemispheres. Develop an argument that evaluates how the Columbian Exchange affected people in both eastern and western hemispheres. I'm warning you right now, if you are not constantly referring to both hemispheres, you are going to get blown up on points, yes? Constantly refer back to both hemispheres. So every single time you got to say east, you got to say west. Go from there. You have one essay tonight. It is going to be worth a lot of points and graded on accuracy. So take the time, do it right. What?
How many points? 3 other things? 15, I think.
Yeah, we're up to like 40 points.
Okay.
I haven't filled out the whole rubric yet, but it's at least flirting with 40. So it is worth it. This will be, you'll have. We don't want to spoil the fun for the week. Okay, here we go. On one of your blank sheets of paper, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to write down this rubric. Let's go. We are grading the SAQs in class. How exciting, right? Quickly. George, you have a paper?
Oh, yeah.
I'm moving. You got about 30 seconds. If you can color your rubric, great. If you can't, it's not a big deal. However, writing your name at the very top of the rubric is important. So make sure your name is at the top of the rubric, please. Because I already have a bunch of essays on my no name wall of shame. Just ask Lily, right? It's gotten pretty busy over there, hasn't it? You've got 10 seconds to finish your rubrics. If you color, great. If you don't have time to color, that's totally fine too. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. You are going to put your rubric on top of your essay and hand it to someone. Go. Put your rubric on top of your essay and hand it to someone, please. Do this now. Okay, here we go.
Oh my god, I don't know what I need. What? Oh,
Okay, let's look at the question. Part A, identify specific historical examples of cultural exchange that would have taken place between North and West Africa. Okay, the best answer is spread of Islam is a good answer. Trans-Saharan trade, example of cultural exchange. The best answer is Islam by and far. You could argue trans-Saharan trade. So everyone should be able to score the first one right now. Do they have a topic sentence with the correct answer? Are they talking about Islam is the best answer? Okay. Anyone see something different? Okay. B. Nope. Correct evidence. So Mansa Musa is a perfect piece of evidence. Sundita is a perfect piece of evidence. Okay? Now, please listen very carefully to me. Look at me, 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 look at me. If you use a piece of evidence in A, you cannot use it in B or C in the same essay. So if you use Sundita, Mansa Musa, or something like that, or camels, you cannot use it in the rest of the essay. Now, if it's another essay and another prompt, for sure, you can use it as long as it's a separate prompt. So if they're using the same thing over and over again, it's 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. They have to be using different pieces of information. So Islam is the best answer. Honestly, Sundita, Mansa Musa, building academic Islamic sites, those things are the best answers. Okay. Analysis that connects North Africa and West Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, if they mention the Swahili city-states, it's wrong. Those are in East Africa. If they mention Indian Ocean Basin, wrong. They need to be talking about slaves, salt, Timbuktu, Goya. Any of those are going to score because those are located in North and East Africa, yes? Kingdom of Malay, Kingdom of Ghana, those score. If they are talking about Kingdom of Zimbabwe, the Great Zimbabwe, and they're talking about other things on the Indian Ocean, that is wrong. Okay, any questions? Bless you. Everyone's good?
Wait, does I've been going to score for evidence?
Yeah, that's a great answer, actually. That's good. Whose is it? Yeah, Carson, I haven't heard that all day, dude. That's a good one. Oh, yeah. What do you got, Zach? Oh, no. You can't use Ivan Batua. It's a 0 because it's in the piece. That's a 0. Darn. I got so excited for you. That's why no one used it, because it's in the piece. Yes, you're actually scoring as you go. Okay. B. Identify one technological advance that changed the way overland trade took place from 1200. Ladies and gentlemen, camels. What else would you use? Camels, trans-Saharan trade, and your evidence should be the Somali saddle. Didn't we plan this together?
No.
Did we do 4 together?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said 2 was too hard.
Well, I also wanted
do
to
that
do.
by yourself.
Yeah. But,
Caravansaries count?
huh?
The caravansaries?
Caravansaries are only on the Silk Road, and we're in Africa, so no. Yep, that's a 0. What?
You said caravansaries.
Caravansaries are 0. They're not in, oh, there are a couple, yeah, they're in the very north, yeah, my apologies, you are correct, they do score. Sorry, it's hard standing up here as well, I just want you to know, because I have no idea what you're going to throw at me, and I have to make a quick decision so we can keep moving. So yes, caravansaries will score. Yeah, because they're all over our map, remember?
Yeah.
Perfect. So, identify one, why wouldn't you go with camels?
Camels are really easy.
My brain wasn't working.
I thought they were
You can keep talking about this or we can keep moving on. Okay, so Camels is what I would have chose. I would have done the Somali saddle as my evidence. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in order to get the analysis, you had to explain how the invention changed land trade explicitly. So I would have done the saddles. I would have said, now instead of carrying only 100 or 200 pounds, camels are now able to carry 600 pounds, which is going to increase the amount of goods being sold, which means more people can purchase them, which will increase demand. The more exposure people have to things, the more they want things. You have to tie it back to demand. I will tell you, I am expecting people to miss the analysis. So if you're like, I don't think this person got it, give them a 1. Unless it's like, damn, that's a good answer, that's a 2. Does everyone see the difference? If they don't even try or it's just weird, give them a 0. Questions? Okay. B, identify one technological advance that changed the way that overland trade took place from 1200 to 1450. Oh, we just did that one. Just kidding. Sorry. Explain one significant way that West African governance changed from 1200 to 1450 because of the increased overland trade. The easiest answer is kinship group to a kingdom. Okay? That is the easiest answer. You could try making a long-winded argument for a kinship group to a theologian based on Islam. Okay? You could, but the best answer is kinship to kingdom. But
What about like the rise of Mali?
that's not a governance, dude. That would be an example of evidence to kingship to a kingdom. But just saying Mali does not score. Okay, evidence. If you are going to say kinship to kingdom, which is the obvious, well, it may not be obvious, but the easiest answer, you have to be careful because if you've been using Mali, you can't use Mali. Kingdom of Ghana would be a bomb answer. Okay? Because you cannot keep using the same pieces of evidence. You need to change them. Oh. It's a 0. Nope, it's a 0. If they use the same pieces of evidence, it's a 0. You can use it once, score it once correctly, and then every single time they use the same thing, it's a 0. What?
Can you use evidence from the text?
What text? From the piece provided? No, 0. They get nothing. If it's in the prompt, it's a 0. You don't get any points for using words that are in there, so 0. What do you got, Sam?
They reference Mali twice in different ones, but it's not like the same piece of evidence, or is that still?
Why are they saying like Mali as in Sundita, and then the other one is like Mansa Musa or something?
One is like Sundiata and the other one is Timbuktu.
That's fine. They can be in the same kingdoms, but you can't just say Sundita. Like that doesn't work.
Decentralized and centralized, like, does that?
No, because you're not being explicit enough. That wouldn't be evidence. You could say that you could do it for A, like the topic sentence, that would be a correct, going from a decentralized government to a centralized government, but then you'd have to have the evidence and the analysis. True.
They talked about Malai again, but they also talked about Ghana.
Yes, Ghana would score the point. What?
Timbuktu, would that work for this one? If you explain like how the government needed to, so it's like because of all the trade going through Timbuktu, like the government needed more centralized government to regulate this trade.
Yeah, that's fine. The best answer is, another really good answer is a centralized currency. In order to facilitate faster trade and stuff like that, that would have been a really good answer. And that's going to be done by the Kingdom of Ghana, which shows a strong centralized government in order to have a centralized currency.
So
Camacho.
Also the analysis, you don't use anything from the text, right?
No, you can't use and ignore the text. Read the text, understand what the text is telling you, and then never touch it again. You don't get any points for it. You can literally quote it all you want, and you get 0 points, and you've wasted your entire time. What?
So for like the other one where we did like the mestizos and the lady
Yeah.
in Guadalupe, like got stuff off of the text.
Yeah, but that one scores evidence.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Question on C. Everyone good? Oh. So your analysis, you need to talk about how the government changed due to trade. Okay? So you can even talk about how Sundita is going, if you haven't used Sundita, you can say that the government will embrace a religion in order to facilitate attracting more Islamic traders in order to build up government strength financially. That would work if you haven't used it before. Everyone good? All right. Total it up. There are staplers around, ladies and gentlemen.
Are we writing our name on the front of the rubric?
Okay, if you are scoring a rubric, okay, your name is at the bottom. Everyone's name should be at the bottom of the rubric. Okay? So if you just scored someone, your name should be at the bottom and you should have a grand total out of 18 by this point, people. Didn't we just do C, right? Yeah, we're done. Okay, so total it up. There are staplers around. If you have a stapler on your desk, that's priority 1. You are stapling the rubric, essay, planning if they handed it to you. Go. As soon as you have a stapler, you need to staple it immediately and pass it. That is priority 1. Come on, quickly. You want to plan your essays. Let's go. Guys, if you have a stapler on your desk, you got to move faster. The whole class is waiting on you. If you have a stapler, you need to move faster. Rubric on top, always. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, take out a separate sheet of paper. You're holding on to the essay you just graded. We'll deal with all that in a few minutes. Begin writing your next rubric. Go. Essay Q, answer 4. This is your next rubric. That's what you're writing. You're not exchanging papers yet. You're just stapling and writing the next rubric. Go. Oh, and just leave it on your desk. You can use it first when we get it. Everyone is starting the next rubric. Let's go.
Who? He already got it. You're the last one.
Everyone is writing the next rubric. Let's go. Kia, write this down and we'll get all that stuff cleaned up, I promise, okay? have time, color it. If you don't worry about it. Get started. Yeah, they could have used live, but if they use the live, it's the answer for all the other ones.
Oh.
They can use it, but they can only use it once. They just keep using the same thing over and over. You have 10 seconds. At the top of your rubric, you need to write your name. At the top. You are writing your name, ladies and gentlemen. I have a long list of no names over here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please put the rubric on top, the Unit 4 rubric on top of your Unit 4 essay, and give it to someone who has not graded an essay of yours. Go. I'm waiting on you. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, as soon as you got the rubric, you're putting your name at the bottom so I know who's grading who. So everyone's name should be on the bottom of the rubric so I know who is grading who. Sounds like they're about to get blown up, if you ask me. Here we go. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, identify one specific example of syncretism that is present in the above reading. The answer should be religion. Yes? Catholicism, Christianity, any of those will score. So check it. Is it correct? Do they have some sort of religion? If they're talking about Christianity, Catholicism, of course, would be the best answer because it's more specific. Yes, regionally to Western Europe, but Christianity would score. Yes? Okay, correct evidence. What is some correct evidence of syncretism? Okay, identify one specific example of syncretism that is present. So what would be a piece of evidence? Sadly, 1492, Columbus sails the ocean blue would be a piece of evidence that would explain why the Spanish are there in the first place. Hernan Cortez is the best example because he's the one who conquers the Aztecs, and we're talking about Mexico, which is where the Aztecs are. So, Hernan Cortez is the best piece of evidence, of course, which would explain why the Spanish are blending with the indigenous in the first place. Okay. Analysis that explains what and why syncretism is occurring. Ladies and gentlemen, talking about the opening of the Spanish arrival. The fact that the Spanish are there to build plantations, make money, mining, all of those things could possibly score. So if you're just trying to justify the arrival of the Spanish in some way. Questions about A? How do we do scoring? Okay. B, explain one technological development in maritime exploration that led to the cultural exchange. The best answer is astrolabe. Because your knowledge of the stars and using the horizon is the best answer. I think we can all agree. Yes? Okay. I think we talked about caravel. Yes? Spanish galleons. Okay. The fact that they are very fast. They are open ocean worthy. Those types of things. What is your evidence? Okay. The fact that it's going to ferry the Spanish across is fine. I think we can all agree we used astrolabe, talking about how it was originally developed in the Indian Ocean Basin, but then will be transferred to be used in the Atlantic Ocean Basin. Yes, does that sound like a better piece of evidence? Okay. So, now, analysis that explains how maritime exploration led to cultural exchange. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to tie it to Columbian Exchange. The fact that they are using these Spanish galleons to cross the ocean, it's got to tie back to the Columbian Exchange. The fact that they are now intermingling between two distant regions, that's a huge deal. So, if they do not talk about the Columbian Exchange or the opening up between, that is a huge deal. Ladies and gentlemen, people may not be scoring these points. So some of you are getting ahead of me, and they may not be earning these previous points. So, in their B, if they did not reference the Columbian Exchange, they can't get those points. There's no way. There's no way. What?
What if everything else is done properly specified? It's like specifically that.
Then take off the 2 points.
Just the 2 points.
Yeah. That's why you have a rubric, girl. What?
Reference to the triangular trade with
That has nothing to do with cultural exchange. That if you're talking about commodities, that would be a great answer. But if we're talking cultural exchange, it's always Columbian. Because all of that fits in.
Going into, yeah, it should.
It's cultural, so it's going to be Columbian. Okay, C. Explain one way that the development of social hierarchies from 1450 to 1750 are present in the above reading. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't write about the encomienda system, I have no idea what you would write about. No. Because the hacienda system, if you wrote a really long-winded one, you could maybe argue it, but you would have to really put in the time to really making it about the social structures, not just about the work structures. It'd be very hard. So ladies and gentlemen, if they don't have encomienda system, then they're going to get blown up. Okay, so provide correct evidence. Ladies and gentlemen, they cannot use mestizos. Why? It's in the text. They can't use it. So if they want to talk about how peninsulars, white people from the Iberian Peninsula who come to New Spain is what they call themselves here in Mexico, that they are at the top of the social hierarchy, and then the mixing of the races goes from there. That scores. Casas paintings also score. The fact that they had so many racial mixings that they had to keep themselves organized, and they used casa paintings in order to do that, that would score as well for evidence. Okay, analysis. This is where a lot of people have gotten it wrong. Okay, analysis that explains why social hierarchies are created. They had to explain that they didn't bring their wives, yes? Or they're talking about how they're marrying and blending families for some reason or the other. Okay, the lack of women is the reason why the Spanish are mixing. They had to acknowledge that to some degree. Okay, if they don't say it explicitly, they cannot earn those points. They had to explain why the social hierarchies are created. Did you not have one to grade? Who didn't bring theirs? Who didn't write the 4th?
Oh, that's mine.
You didn't write the 4th?
The unit 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I had B on there, but my A wasn't on there. I just
What about C?
Or is it for me?
yes. Yes. No, I guess.
Talk to Mayor's boss.
Yes.
Okay. So, it should be out of 18, ladies and gentlemen. You were writing the grand total out of 18. Okay. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to staple the rubric on top of the essay, on top of the planning. Do that now. You are stapling the essay, the rubric on top of the essay. If you have a stapler on your desk, you should be stapling. Logan, Owen, staple and pass the stapler. Sure, then staple, let's go. Come on.
Yeah, it's on the bottom.
If you have a stapler, you need to staple and pass. Quickly, quickly. Don't put those away. Huh?
Oh, this is from yesterday.
Oh, okay. We're going to turn them in, of course. Yeah. Okay, everyone should be stapling the essays. On your desk, you should have 3 essays, all stapled, yes? Well, you should have your LEQ. Do you still have your LEQ? Yeah. LEQ and 2 SAQs. You have Now, give your essays back to the person that owns them, please. Everyone should have their own essays at this point, please. Quickly, this is not exciting at all, ladies and gentlemen. Give back the essays to the people who own them. You should have 3 essays. George, pull it together, dude. Okay. So, everyone should have their 3 essays on their desk. Is that correct? Okay. At the top of every essay, you need to make sure your name is on it. So at the top of every essay, you need to make sure your name is clearly written so you can actually, get the points for it. Okay, please listen very carefully. Kirsten is getting your Unit 2 essays. The one with the rubric, that's what I want. The rubric for Unit 2 is going to Kirsten. Carson, Carson, huh. Carson is getting your Unit 4. So 2 is going to Kirsten, Unit 4 is going to Carson, and your LEQ is going to Logan. They should already be stapled. No, you're not grading. You're getting completion. That is not what's happening tomorrow, though. Guys, the faster you move, the faster the planning goes. What?
I put my 2 and 4 on 2 sides of the same paper.
Okay, then turn them in, I guess.
I'm getting
LEQs are going to Logan. Carson is getting your 4s, and Kirsten is getting your 2s, people. As long as there should be 2 rubrics, right?
Yeah.
That's fine. Just staple it and put it to one of them. Or Sama has the stapler behind you, George. Come on, sweetie. Yes.
Still good.
Yes.
Planning for the LEQ as well.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I always want planning. LEQs, yes. LEQs are going to Logan, ladies and gentlemen. They're still coming to you, so just hold on to them, Logan. Huh? That's fine, I guess. Like, what's a girl to do, right? Like.
Yeah, that 90% doesn't include mine.
Okay, so Kirsten has Unit 2. Carson has Unit 4. Logan has your LEQ. Is that correct? Okay. Good job. Is that Kirsten?
What is the plan? I don't know that.
That's my best one. Short days are good, so you have to jam.
How are we doing? It's like sophomores have just been so delicate today. Are you people collectively okay?
No.
What is wrong?
Everything. I'm not okay with this.
Sam, what is wrong, my darlings? You're a logical person. What is going on? Because like all day long, it's been off. And I don't know why. Is it because Ren, you're gonna have a rough week with Ren this week?
Oh, that too.
I don't think you understand what's happening this week. You have a 250 vocab quiz, and you're starting essays on Friday.
Oh, no.
And we
We also have a unit
Unit
test.
test.
Joey, did you take mine?
Well, Bren's a little crazy for this. So, okay. I have a doctor's appointment I have for Hank. So when seniors are dismissed, you're dismissed today. Is that fair? 'Cause I have to hustle.
That's good and bad at the same time.
Perfect. Okay, let's look at your essay prompts for tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot stress This is based on correctness. We're spending all class tomorrow grading it. So tonight, should you put in the time and the effort? Yes. Should you show up to my class unprepared? No. That shit just riles me. By the way, I had 2 people drop today.
This late?
Do it. Do it. If you're thinking about it, do it.
Where did they go to honors?
Dude, if you want it, you can have it.
Did they go to honors?
Yeah, to go to honors. It's a graduation requirement. Honors. What?
The government class.
Yes.
History class.
You're it.
Like, you have to
You're
take
the
it.
video.
It doesn't have to be AP though.
So, ladies and gentlemen, your prompt for tonight. In the period of 1450 to 1750, oceanic voyages resulted in the Columbian Exchange, which transformed eastern and western hemispheres. Develop an argument that evaluates how the Columbian Exchange affected people in both eastern and western hemispheres. You cannot get the points unless you acknowledge both sides of the Atlantic, ladies and gentlemen. You will get blown up on points. You will leave half the points on the table. Maybe I'd make a note about that because that seems pretty worth it if you're going to lose half the points on the table. All right, what do we got? Develop an argument that evaluates how the Columbian Exchange affected people in both Eastern and Westerns.
Good afternoon.
See ya.